Welcome to Gotham High, where everyone worships the rich and the beautiful. And no one is richer or more handsome than Bruce Wayne.
So DC Comics seems to think that going full cringe, kind of like Marvel, is going to help them out as well. Fresh off the idea train is Gotham High, which it actually isn't. We're going to get into that in a minute. This isn't a fresh new idea. They're actually recycling some stuff. So we'll get into that in a minute. But what is this great idea here? Well, this is their attempt to break into the young adult market. So this is something that comics have been trying to do for a while, because if you watched any of my videos, I've made this point several times, and that's that most of the people that read comic books are middle-aged men. Okay, comics are too expensive, and it makes it hard for younger people to jump in. But there's still definitely a demand for comics. Okay, manga is doing just fine, has a huge audience everywhere in the world. I use My Hero Academia as a perfect example for why people still want superheroes, okay? But they don't want this. So this is attempt number 5,000 to break into the YA market, try to get those young adults, see if they can bring some people back into comics. It's not going to work. So we're going to take Twilight, Gossip Girl, and Crazy Rich Asians, because that's right, Bruce Wayne is now from Hong Kong. They're changing that up. And put him in a love triangle with Spanish Selena Kyle and whatever Jack Napier is. Jack Napier, a.k.a. the Joker. Well, one of his names, if you don't know that, one of several origins that he's had. For those of you that have only seen the recent Joker movie, Arthur Fleck is that version's original name. He's had several names. I could do a whole video on Joker himself. But for the purpose here, the whole idea is to do a love triangle between the three of them. That's the hot idea. It's a very cringy trailer. I'll link it in the description if you want to watch it. But this is the idea they have. So they're going to make a Twilight fanfic and say that this is Batman and see if they can pull some people in. We have an interview by the author. Let's go ahead and take a look at her big brain concept for Bruce Wayne. So thanks to Entertainment Weekly for providing this. First look, Batman meets Gossip Girl in graphic novel Gotham High. So let's go ahead. Here's the pitch. Even after 80 years of Batman comics, movies, and TV series, you've never seen the Caped Crusader quite like this. DC Comics' new graphic novel, Gotham High, reimagines a teenage Bruce Wayne along with young versions of Catwoman, a.k.a. Selena Kyle, and the Joker, a.k.a. Jack Napier, in a world that feels more on par with Gossip Girl and Crazy Rich Asians than anything that's come before in the canon. After Bruce, a rich Chinese American loner, gets kicked out of a boarding school, he returns to Gotham City to find his home and former friends are nothing like he left them. Former girl next door, Selena, is now the queen bee of Gotham High, ruling over everyone with a dark side no one knows about, and class clown Jack will do anything to get the last laugh. And when a string of kidnappings seem to target Bruce, he finds himself embroiled in a dangerous love triangle with the very people he suspects are at the center of it. Entertainment Weekly has your first exclusive look at this book. So the real cringe here is in the interview. So let me go over some pieces here. You can go ahead and get the idea. So I just want to skip right here. You have the premise, right? This was the really interesting part where she talks about introducing stuff like Alfred. So here's the question where you're going to kind of get the whole idea here. So what excited you about these new versions of Batman, Joker, and Catwoman? And here's the response. Bruce Wayne is the billionaire. He's the richest man alive. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun if his family was Chinese and from Hong Kong? That made it feel real. There's been a big influx of wealthy Chinese people who moved from Hong Kong to Arcadia in Los Angeles, and that's where my mom lives. I'm part Chinese. My brother lives in Hong Kong, so I thought it would be great to put what I know into Bruce Wayne. I just wanted to give him a little bit more of a representative I just wanted it to be a little bit more representative of my background and giving him an authentic family. Alfred is not just his butler but also his uncle, his gay uncle from Hong Kong. It gives this fabulous, crazy, rich Asian sheen to it. Right. So there's always this weird thing. I have to inject myself into the character. That's really been kind of the theme of a lot of these comic books. I need to put myself in the character. It needs to be a little bit more like me. These people have no creativity. That's why they're terrible at comic books. You'd think that instead of doing stuff like this and saying, what if we did Gossip Girl, Crazy Rich Asians, Twilight, and Batman and put them in a jar together and shook it up? Maybe instead of doing that, maybe the smart business idea would be to say, what are they doing right over in Japan that we're not doing here? Why don't we dissect My Hero Academia? Why is that doing so well, but we can't sell X-Men books to save our life? Why does nobody want to read Spider-Man? Why are they so interested in Deku? You think that would be the idea, like that would be the hot idea in the office over there at Marvel and DC. But no, they're like, let's do Twilight. This isn't going to work. This is not going to bring in new young readers. This is stupid. And it's not going to be successful. They think it'll be successful. And when this fails, they'll think it'll be successful again when they rinse, wash, and repeat this over and over again until they go bankrupt or their parent companies fold them, which I think might be soon. I've talked about that. The comic book industry is in big, big trouble, and that's a fact. But the story doesn't end just yet. Dark Gift Comics presents, I will link this video in the description, found something pretty interesting. So there's a 7-year-old parody trailer of somebody just throwing some clips together. I watched it. He shows that trailer and the Gotham High trailer in his videos. So I'll just link his. Go watch his because he's the one that found this. So credit to him. But he watched both trailers. And in the parody trailer, it's very interesting. It's incredibly similar to everything that you see that's being shown now. Like a Triangle, Selena Kyle, or I think it's Harley Quinn actually. So it's not Selena, but they kind of changed that, like kind of looking for love amongst Batman and his rogues gallery. And it's literally almost kind of the same thing they're pushing now. So the question here is, did they rip off elements here? I don't think that the author is being 100% truthful on this being their idea, because not only does it seem like they ripped off this trailer, which I highly believe they probably took ideas from, they also had a show that got canceled from back in the day called Gotham High, which was about characters from Batman's rogue gallery and his universe and Bruce Wayne being in school. So they've wanted to do this before. They've wanted to do a Gotham High a couple of times, and they just didn't do it. And it looks like now they're finally doing it by recycling their old show and ripping off a parody trailer on YouTube, which, to be fair, they have the right to do. It's their intellectual property, but I just find it funny. And we've seen this before. Disney ripped off a fan art, or no, they took an action figure and used it for Palpatine in the Rise of Skywalker poster, which is absolutely hilarious. So I find this kind of suspicious. I, of course, tagged Jim Lee on Twitter and asked him about it, but I highly doubt he'll respond at all. Now, before we go, as for the idea itself, is this going to bring in the new readers that they want? No. No, it's not. Could this appeal to girls? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. If there's any girls in the viewership here, will you please tell me if this appeals to you? Would you be interested in this? I guess that's who I really need to hear from. I think I've got a good 4% female audience. So if you're watching, let me know if you dig this concept. I think it's stupid. I don't have any interest in this. I don't think the young adult market really has any interest in this. I mean, why the hell would they want to read this when they can go read thousands of issues of manga? For $2, by the way, on the Shonen Jump app. By the way, if you're looking for something really entertaining to read, go download the Shonen Jump app. It's on Google and iPhone, and I'm pretty sure you can probably do it on your computer. You pay $2 a month, and it gives you access to every single Shonen Jump manga ever published. It costs $2 a month. I mean, you can take some pop cans back if you live in a state that recycles them and pay for that pretty easy. It's not a bad price, and there's a lot to read there. So if you're really looking for some good comics to keep you going, that'll work. I read it every day, so I highly recommend checking that out. This, not so much. Anyway, guys, that's it. Any ladies out there, is this something that appeals to you? Please let me know if this is going to be successful and you're going to read this. In general, what does everybody think about this? I'd like to hear. What do you think about diversity swapped Bruce? What do you think about his new fabulous butler and uncle, Alfred? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that as well. Also, remember to throw a like up, share the video, hit that notification bell, make sure you're still subscribed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.